Why play Pearl? What does it mean? Well, it means that I'm playing the best, and I felt that way from the very first time I started playing Pearl drums and having an opportunity to play them. An immediate closeness and an opportunity really from what I knew was the most quality instrument out there. An opportunity for the drummer, any drummer, to make the best sound they can make in terms of how the player and the instrument meet each other and combine. The experience was unparalleled trying to play anything else. It was always Pearl drums for me because they are the best. Well, looking back on history, I go back to when my trajectory with the Pearl Drum Company started in 1976, and at this point I was fortunate enough through my father to be able to meet a colleague of his called Glyn Thomas, who was a percussionist on the London scene in those days and worked as a UK rep for Pearl drums in a company called Norlin, and I believe they were in Braintree, Essex. This is real trivia time now. So the short story is I managed to get a wood fiberglass set from him as I just landed myself my first professional position in a big band, the Sid Lawrence Orchestra, which was quite a powerful band, and I needed a real robust sounding, powerful kit, one that projected. And these drums were absolutely perfect, made from mahogany or Luan wood from the Philippines, I think, with a layer of fiberglass in between. They sounded absolutely amazing, and right from that moment I knew that I was playing the most quality instrument that I would be able to get my hands on, or ever will get my hands on, which are Pearl drums. Since those days I got a replacement wood fiberglass set, 2 up, 2 down, black, and I really loved that set of drums also. And along with that I got my first concert tom kit together around that time. I don't know the wood configuration for those shells, but it was 2 bass drums and 8 concert toms, so very 70s deal, but I loved it. So really we can go on and on talking about all the different models of shell that I was overjoyed to play, through the MLX and the BLX, going through to the forerunners of the Master Series, which is really when my sound really and the instrument really became solidified, and this was really only possible with Pearl drums. The odd time I have an opportunity to play any other instrument, it's a very pale comparison. So I really am in touch with the best instrument and in touch with the best that I can sound through your instruments. Definitely the sound of Pearl has been evolving, and with them we have also been evolving as players and musicians, and we all come with demands and different ways that we're looking to go in terms of sound, but it's as if the whole trajectory of the development of Pearl drums has been going hand in hand with us as players, but what we have all in common is that we all have a recognizable sound which is entirely personal to each one of us, and that we all get from Pearl drums in exactly our own way. I've been watching Pearl evolve quietly and elegantly, and from this place of just being the best for so many years now. Having come through exposure and playing the many different lines and shells that have come out through the decades, the MLX, the BLX periods, all of which were predecessor to the Masters series, which was a time, I think, for my first Masters kit, was where there was never going to be any turning back. This was a complete hand in hand, hand in glove, however you say that, experience of total harmony between myself as a player, my desires as a player, and what the instrument gives me. This kind of relationship I have with the drums, the physical, but it's beyond that. It's metaphysical almost. It seems to know my soul. It seems to know my total intent when I play these instruments, and I just feel closer and closer with the performance that the drums give me, and the way they deliver. It doesn't really matter. There have been so many different shells. I remember a tour once in Canada where the Pearl rep there was reluctant to give me a backline Vision kit at the time. And I strongly suspect this was because it didn't have the visual appeal of one of the higher end lines of Pearl drums. And I think it was a very, very basic shell makeup, but the drums sounded absolutely fantastic on that tour. And I would have been very happy to stay with the Vision line for many years to come. So really that's an example of how at home and how in harmony I feel with all the developments of the drums that Pearl make. The support and the help is always tremendous. It doesn't matter, even in the most remote areas in the world, somehow it's always possible on a kind of backline basis, which I'm exposed to frequently as a traveling musician, constantly touring, or I was. And the only complaint that can ever come in is when the backline companies don't change their heads, but nothing to do with the drums, which are always fantastic, really. This whole situation stands as a testament to how easy I feel with the gear and how close I feel to it, totally trusting, to always get a fantastic performance. But yes, the family feeling is and has been always wonderful internationally with Pearl drums, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. That really means everything to me, because if there's a very harmonious feeling within the international drum family of Pearl drums, there is automatically to the player, and this extends itself into the way we feel and the way we sound when we're playing the gear. What's really wonderful and really warming on a personal level is when so many of the Pearl team come out in force sometimes and show up at concerts and on tours in the various countries that I get the opportunity to play in. And I'll be meeting so many of the team on those occasions that are part of the Pearl company, present and past. You know, people from many years ago who I remembered a friendship with within the Pearl company, and it's so amazing and reminds me of the fact that really once we all become personally involved with this quest of finding the best that we can be, Pearl as the best drum company and us striving to be the best we can be, is really, once it forms, it never stops, and that's just a beautiful thing. Well, I'm very happy and grateful that the door has always been open for me to be able to liaise and plot and plan and consult members of the R&D department of the company from the point of view of refining certain ideas, developing certain ideas, perhaps areas that require a small variation on what's happening, which are very much sort of attuned with my own taste and the way that I'm wanting to go. To the point that my last two kits, which I'm totally in love with, have been 4-ply Masters Maple with no reinforcement ring. The drums are very open and speak just majestically, and really to have had the opportunity to put that together and personalize it a little bit has meant a lot to me. Particularly since on my most recent kit, which I call the Red Monster, I managed to remind Pearl of a very beautiful red wrap color that that existed in the 80s, probably the 90s. I can't remember when, but it was so long ago that Pearl didn't seem to have much of a memory for it. But we started on this mission to try to find it and locate it and look for some examples of what it was, and I'm very happy to have Sequoia Red as the featured colour on my present set of drums. Wonderful. I think with every stage of advancement with the hardware, Pearl just go from strength to strength. It's just a refinement, a modification, development on what is already great, but just keeps getting better and better. Pearl always had fantastic hardware, right back to the 76 days. The stock kind of mainline hi-hat I had in the bass drum pedal, they just felt absolutely fantastic. I didn't really need to even think about it. They felt so natural and so superior to anything else that was around. More lately, with the advancement of the eliminator pedals, which was a point with Pearl, I really feel that they became the best in the world, these pedals. You know, up to the point we have the Demon Drive now, they're just totally superior pieces of gear. And using those pedals, it's like driving a Formula One car, really. I think one of the most significant things in terms of the hardware was the development of the Optimount system, which gives you the suspension of the drum so that there's a slight movement. It is not this total rigid thing. If there's just slightly a movement where all the drums can physically interact a little bit and interact with me, I really favor that. And it's possible to achieve that with the series, as well as being as rigid and as sturdy as you want. So really it's just the most superior hardware. Well, it's been wonderful to meet and maintain a friendship with lots of the major brother and sister musicians, drummers of our time and in the past up until now. And such immense friendships really form out of such a great family atmosphere as Pearl has. You know, and I spoke earlier about Todd Zuckerman, who's one of my closest friends in the world, really. He's such a brother, and you know, we met, I think, on the Cape Breton Drum Festival way back, and the friendship just started right from there. And there's mutual Pearl players, of course, with Omar Hakim too, the wonderful player, my brother and friend Kiko Freitas in Brazil, and of course my longtime friend and brother Dennis Chambers, who I've also been thrilled to do clinics with, Pearl clinics, and that we've shared this common love of the Pearl Drum Company, really. And I believe every time we all get together, we all celebrate what's wonderful about the company, and how it seems to nurture and encourage and bring to life relationships that really will last forever. So a fabulously happy 75th anniversary to you, Pearl Drums. Here's to the next 75 years. I'm toasting you with lots of love. Thank you.